Hello everyone. So we're going to do a quick video here, and I saw this question, and this is one of those things. It's not really, usually I do lighting um, material, how to light real estate photography, but this is so important here. And somebody's asking how do I take a vacation? And it's such a funny question. I mean, I don't mean to be dismissive of the question, but it's it's a very good question, and it's also very difficult. And I want to sort of go into this a little bit because of our culture in the U.S. If you even think about the word workaholic, I've thought about this often, and I honestly don't hear many people saying this, but I totally believe it's true. We see this word workaholic as like a good thing, like a badge of honor, something that's very positive. And anybody who's a workaholic sort of has this, you know, they're on the ball, right? It's like you describe somebody like that in America, and it's a very very positive associated, and somebody who's just on top of things. But the truth is, nobody really realizes or even thinks about that a true workaholic. I mean, if you think about it, this might be controversial at first because you might see yourself as a workaholic. But what are you doing? You're like ignoring your family. You're ignoring your health. You're ignoring your well-being. You're ignoring like all the things that really matter in life. So it's actually, in my opinion, the term workaholic is really supposed to have a connotation of something very negative, just like anything with the word aholic would alcoholic or whatever. And I totally believe that anything that you do and you do it way too much and you obsess over it, it's actually a good thing in certain ways. We all know that when you obsess of something, that's how you really get ahead. But at the same time, it's nice to have a balance. So that's my feeling on workaholic and sort of American culture. If you go to other parts of the country or other parts of the world, people just close down. They have the siestas in Spain and Mexico and Italy, right? They close their business down and they go home and they take a nap. I mean, that's part of their culture. I mean, we wouldn't even think of that. So, um, just realize that there are other, maybe perhaps more mentally healthy cultures out there, and they really see this differently. They really take a lot more time off. And I want to go into how I handle this because I really do believe that it's a good balance, because I have some of the same sort of triggers as Doris here. I freak out when I think about, oh my God, I want to go surfing for a week. What's going to happen? I'm going to lose two of my clients, and those are going to be like my best clients. And I can totally see that happening. I can totally see that, like, my best client, if I'm not there for a week, they do 4 or 5 listings a month. If I'm not there for a week, they're just going to find somebody that's there, and they're going to just start using him. I mean, really, most likely. Why not? I mean, he's there, he's around. I totally see that as legit. So here's how I handle this, okay? And this is just the point of the video. The way you want to handle your time off is you're going to have to think about this, what I was saying before about how being a workaholic is probably bad. You're going to have to think about how much time you really want off. And don't think of things like, we're so programmed. I'm sorry, but I just believe this about Americans. We're so programmed, like, we need to do our working here and we need to do our little vacations over here. Well, don't really think of it like that. I mean, I don't know why people think they need 2 weeks off and then they work the other 50 weeks like every single day. So the way I've sort of handled it, and I feel like it's very common sense and rational, is I sort of decide how much I want to be working. Now, this is sort of on a daily basis. Do I want to have 3 jobs a day? Am I okay with that? Well, that's going to let me do we're going to go into this in a second. Do I want to average like 1.5 jobs a day? You see what I'm getting at here? So I've found that just what I just said, if I have 3 or 4 jobs a day, I'm sort of miserable. I'm coming home, I'm stressed out. My promise to all my clients is I'm going to get the images to them the next day. That's too much editing for me. Have I ever had 3 homes in a day? Yeah, many, many times. So we're not saying don't do a lot of work in one day. We're just saying try and find your happy place, okay? If I do a shoot or a shoot and a half in a day, I'm home by 2:30 p.m. I can go surfing, right? I can go, mountain bike riding. I can go, walking with my wife, whatever. It's great. I love it. So that's sort of my goal, sort of my 1.5 shoots a day, right? I'm just using me as an example. You might be one, you might be five. I don't know. It depends on you, right? You're going to have to think about that. But the way I control that now, the way I control that 1.5, that's my goal, right? 1.5 a day or whatever that comes out to a week, right? Now, the way I control that is through my pricing. That's it. It's simple to me. It's simple. So I work as much as I want. That's the key, sort of working the amount you want to be working and using your pricing as a control. Like if I'm doing 2 shoots a day, maybe 2.5, if I'm averaging that for a month, maybe I might want to raise my prices, right? I mean, it really works too, everyone. I mean, it really does. So that's how I handle it, all right? So there's 2 sort of points in there just to review. Like, you really should be thinking about maybe taking care of yourself a little bit better and taking care of other things. And don't think of workaholicism as a badge of honor. And get in there and sort of control your life with your pricing. I think that's the best, absolute best way and most efficient way to handle it.